Hi everybody and welcome back to my quest to kill off some of my 12 by 12 pads. It's not going overly well because I'm literally doing one or two a day and I've got many pads. But never mind, this is what I thought I'd show you today. It's been around honestly forever, it really has, and I'm sure that most of you know how to make it anyway, but it's just I thought about it, and it is out of one sheet of 12 by 12 plus a butterfly and some organza ribbon, of course. But this is the little pocket, and it's got some tags in. I've made it with the Prima paper that I was been making things with before. So you see, it's a 4 pocket. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I think you just stick it onto your journal page by that side and there. So you've still got this big tuck at the back there. You can make it either way, but I'll be showing you how to make it this way today. And then it's really obvious how you make it the other way. So let's get cracking then. Let's pop these back in because they look so pretty. There we are. Right, so yeah, like I say, I'm going to be using my Prima pad that we've been using for a while. And I am making some inroads into it. I definitely am. This is the pad, Apricot Honey. It's just beautiful, really is. So let's have a look and see what we've got left. We've got some remnants here. We've got these strips. I'll lay those out actually because we want one of those later on. That's a nice useful size remnant. We've got I'm pretty sure they call them cutter parts, where you cut things out and you decorate. You know, they're all matching the papers, so you can decorate your projects with those. And that's the other one. It's got these little sort of journaling card size things on it. So down to the papers. Oh, just look at that. We've used that quite a bit actually. It's beautiful. Might come back to that. And that's, I think I keep knocking the microphone. Let me just move it a bit. That's the cutter parts. You get 4 sheets of those. Oh, look at that. Ooh, that's really pretty. And then those are the cards I was telling you about. 4 sheets of those. And that is the one that I used to make mine with. That's the back of it. Some more remnants. Ooh, nice remnants. And one of those bits that you cut off that goes around the top, but they're useful, so don't throw them out. Yeah, that's more of the butterfly. Oh, and then that one. Oh, I say, that one really is beautiful. What's on the back of that? Oh, that's quite dark. I don't think I want that. Let's go back to the first one, which is this one. And what's on the back of that? That brown. Yeah, that's the one I'm going to go for. Actually, oh, there's another little part. I think we cut that out the other day for one of the other 12 by 12 projects. Right, so we've selected the paper. That's good. That's a major step in the right direction. I've lost my ruler. Here it is. So I'm just going to cut off that strip at the top. I would call it a branding strip, but it's not because it doesn't really have any branding on it. But it sometimes has good stuff. So let's just cut that off there. Make sure that we're leaving a 12 by 12 behind. I don't think that's exactly square. Yeah, maybe it is. Let's just try that again. Yeah, it's pretty square. Is that out by that much? Right, so now what we need to do is cut a 3-inch, I don't need my big ruler anymore, cut a 3-inch strip down it. Now let's just have a look and see which way is up. We've used this one before and I'm pretty sure we decided that was up. Let's have a look at it the other way. No, the butterflies are all flying the wrong way. So get it so that it's facing up and cut a strip down the side of 3 inches. Lovely. And set that aside because we'll be needing it in a little while. Now then, the next thing to do is get your scoreboard. And this is now 9 inches, so we want to score it at 4.5, right down from the top to the bottom. And this Prima, although it's described as a paper pad, it's quite thick, so I'm doing that quite a few times. And I'm going to turn it over and do it on the other side as well, because I have had this Prima paper crack on me, and that is not what you want. So I'm giving it every chance to be able to fold. And then turn it round so as you've got your 12-inch side along the top and crease it in the middle at 6 inches. And fold that over again and crease it again at 6 inches. As I say, just to give it every chance not to crack. Right. So the first thing we want to do is fold it over this way, and just make sure as you're doing it that you are actually exactly right, because scoreboards can be a little fraction out sometimes. Lovely, that's great there. Let's just burnish that in when we've got it exactly, and same here, get it exactly and then burnish that line in. Right, so the next thing then that we need to do is fold it over. I'm just going to fold that crease line in first, there. So fold it back to like that and then fold this up. Now you will notice, because this is quite thick, you know, on the paper side of things, that it just doesn't want to stay shut. So the thing to do is get your scissors out. Now I don't know if you can see this on the screen, but there's a crease line. Can you see that side better? Not really. I'll just draw it in so you can see where it is. But it's the line that we've just folded on. So that's it there. So what we want to do is just take our scissors and cut up each side of it, like you've seen me do on other projects that we've made. So just a little bit to the right, up to that centre score line, and then a little bit on the left. So you're ostensibly just cutting the score mark out, really, but you're just giving it breathing room. That's that. Fold them up, fold that down. Get your knife out. I've had to tidy up. Everything that was on my desk is now in this drawer down here, so it's going to take me a while to get used to that, I think. There we go. So that's just scrap. And now when we fold it up, it's got much less bulk. It's keener to fold up properly. And I haven't trimmed that off very tidily. That's better. So fold it up like that. Give it a good score into place, because that's our final position now. Like that. Lovely. And you see, it wants to stay shut now. It's not bulging open. And it's just all because of that little sliver that we've taken out of there allows it the freedom to do that. Right, okay. Making a bit of drama out of this when actually it's dead easy. At this stage, I'm going to ink around it. It's much easier to ink around it now than when you've got it all sort of made up. So I'm not sure what's going to be on show and what isn't, but I'm just going to go around it all. It only takes, you know, a couple of, well, it doesn't even take a couple of minutes, I don't think. Some of this won't be visible, and you can come back and do the bits that are visible that we haven't inked later. There we are, just down the creases. Okay. There will undoubtedly be some parts that we've missed, but that's a good start. Right, so for the first bit, all you do is take this corner here, and fold it back to that corner there. So if you just keep your nail on that corner and fold it right back and right along this edge here, keep it as straight as you possibly can. Like that. And when you're happy that you've got it straight, then fold it in. Lovely. Now then, what we want to do is take the ruler. You can do this by eye if you want to. You know that I am rubbish at things like that. So this measures 4.5. So I want to come in 3/4 of an inch. So, and make a mark. So that's there. Same thing down here. Make a mark. I'm using Frixion because it, you know, I can get rid of it afterwards. So put your nail there again on the mark and fold it over, and your nail there on that mark and fold that over. So you've got these two anchor points at each end, and then when you're sure that it's where you want it to be, just press it in and score it down. So the same thing with the next one. Put your ruler on, and that's 3 3/4. So make a mark at 3, and down here I'll make a mark at 3. And it's the exact same procedure. Put your finger, I'll start with this one, put your finger on there, fold it over, fingernail on there, fold that over. When you're happy that you've got it where you want it, crease it in. And this one you can leave like that. I think it looks quite nice like that. Or you can fold it in and make it more of a tuck spot. So for this purpose we'll fold it in. But you can, as you can see, you can leave that like that. I mean, these all tuck in. These tuck behind the one in front. Like that. So you can see if you left it like that, you've still got a really nice pocket. You've got 1, 2, 3 pockets. If you left the top open, you'd have 4. If you left the side open, you'd have 5. I mean, I just like it this way, with the thought of sticking it down along there and along there. So you've got a nice big tuck spot in here. So I'm going to do the last fold at 2 1/4 from both sides, 2 1/4. And just fold this one in, this is the last one. I think it's worth, for me, it's worth measuring them, because then you get they're all equal. You know, it is a junk journal, so I do take on board that if they're not all equal, it's perfectly fine. But for me, that's, I like that. Now, the other thing you could do is fold them the other way, so you don't get this. You could fold them all that way. So you would end up with it, whoa, like this. There's so many ways that you can fold this. You know, that's what you'd end up with. And that's neater. I think that's probably neater actually than the other way. So yeah, I might do mine that way this time. Let's just take a look at the other one. This was the other one. And it had this flap coming down here, which is really rather nice. But I've done that, and you can see what I mean about the bits at the top here. So it's up to you. It's whichever way you like it. But I'm going to do this one this way this time. So what I need to do is just glue the flaps down. Otherwise they'll get in the way when you're putting things in and out of your pocket. I've just been using this glue, so I don't know why it's... Ooh. Fair enough. Yikes, that's quite a lot all in one go. So let's just be careful with that. Fold that down. Make sure when you do that it's not over the crease line, because then it'll interfere with getting everything nice and square. Lovely. So that's the next one, isn't it? Yeah. So let's get this glued down. Seems a shame to be gluing over this beautiful paper, but that's what's going to happen if we want this pocket. Fold that over, press it down firmly. I'm using Aleene's. You can use whatever glue you like. It is basically paper to paper, so I don't see it's going to need any enormous sticking capacity. Right, so that's that. This one is the next one. So it needs to get stuck like that. It's worth always checking. For the second it takes to check, it's just worth it, because I can just see that I would end up with bits stuck the wrong way around, etc. So if you're the same as me, just check. Peace of mind. So fold that over again. It's the same thing with all of them, just folding it down and pressing it quite hard so it stays there. Lovely. So let's just check. Yes. And it's just that one now to stick down. I'm just thinking, I bet you could do this by cutting these off. Not turning them over and sticking them at all, but by cutting them off. And then you'd end up with a load of these corners in your best paper. I don't know what to do with them, but could be something to do with them. a bit reluctant to stick down, that one, I don't know why. Right, okay, so I'm just going to take my heat gun and get rid of those red marks that I've created with the Frixion, just in case I forget later on. Okay, so now I'm going to ink these edges up now that we can see which edges we need to be inking. You could do this with just one-sided paper as well, but you'd need to stamp on the back or create a pattern, you know, stencil on it or something to create a pattern. But you could do it. You definitely could. Right, there we are. So ostensibly, that's it done. It didn't take overly long. You can sew around it at this stage. Just sew around, well, sew around all of it, whatever it is that you want to sew around. I quite like the idea of leaving these open, I think. So I'm going to stick down here first anyway, because I do know that I want that stuck. Just like that, as exact as you can manage. And this wouldn't really have, well, it would have been possible if we hadn't cut the sliver out, but it would have been chunkier. So let's just pop a couple of clips on there, right at the top, and a couple down, one at the bottom and a couple down there, just to give it the idea. So do I want to stick those or not? Well, I will, but the decision is yours. You can leave them open if you want. So I'm just going to run a little bead of glue down there, and down this one. There's a little one at the front. Right. So just press that down firmly. It is the most beautiful paper, this, isn't it? It really is. And I'm just going to put some clips on here as well, just to hold it while it dries. And we've got something else to do anyway. Just one right on the bottom, I think. There. So that's all clipped up now, drying. Right. So we've got tags to make. Now then, the 3-inch strip that we chopped off at the beginning, this piece, we're now going to use this. And we're going to make a 5-inch, a 4-inch and a 3-inch tag. Is that right? 5 and 4 is 9 and 3 is 12. Yeah, hooray! So chop it up. 5 inches is the first one. And because we've cut off 3 inches, they're nice, they're quite chunky. They're not just slivers like an afterthought. So that's the 5-inch one. The 4-inch one. And this one, which is a little dumpy, I'll grant you that. And it's still got a bit of that card at the top, so it's going to be slightly less than 3 inches actually. So if you think that that's just a bit square and you don't really want to put a ribbon in the top, That's fine, I understand that. But possibly round all the corners or something. I think I'm still going to put I'm still going to put corners in it. I'm going to make it into tag. Right, let's see if I can find, yes, here it is. So, which one do I want? This smaller one, I think, probably. So make sure you've got everything lined up. Put your template on top. Cut the corners, then they'll all be identical. Turn that over. Make sure everything's in line. Cut that one. There we go. So we've got our tags. That one does look dumpy, and you could cut down the width of that if you wanted to have a better sort of ratio. But yeah, it's all right. And what I would recommend that you do is back them. However, this paper, as I've been saying all along, isn't thin paper, and the back of it is very light, and you could journal on that. And I think that's fine. I think we're all right with that. So let's ink round those. And because we're not going to back them with anything, let's ink round the back as well. Then we've just got the actual thing to decorate and some ribbons to put in these. Oh, forgot to ink the back of that last one. I would say I'd do it later, but I'll forget, so I'm going to do it now. Sorry about the boredom. There we are, it's just the back of this one to go. I'm using a vintage photo, which is what I've used for ink all the way through this paper pad. I think it goes nicely with it. So right, I just want to mark where the centre is so I can make a hole. So it's about one, it's about there. Alright, so if I line all these up and get my crocodile out, I should be able to do them all at once. That's the plan. Right, so pop those in there. Lovely. Now you could, if you wanted to, put an eyelet in. On this occasion I'm not going to. I usually do on most occasions. And I'm going to put the ribbon in, and I'll show you how I do that. Just for new starters, I know everybody else knows exactly how to do it. So cut a length. I use organza ribbon a lot, but you could use seam binding or ordinary ribbon or lace. Anything that takes your fancy, yarn, anything. Organza ribbon is my flavour of the day. Has been for some time, like years. So I've got these fabulous hands that Jean gifted me. And then just hold on to that, and then cut yourself a piece of ribbon that's big enough to make a bow with. I'm never good at gauging it. So pop that under those bits and then tie a knot. Just one single knot like that. Make sure that it's firmly down like so. And then you tie a bow. And that is something I am definitely rubbish at. Particularly when I'm filming. I'm not good at it at the best of times. But when we're filming, wow, look at that. I've actually made a bow. So you can fiddle with it at your leisure and get these bits to come down properly and whatever, but that's ostensibly it. Wow, good job. Trim those off to something that looks suitable on those. And there we have it. Just spread them, pull those and spread them out. Right, so that's one done, and you can see that that is exactly what I'm going to be doing with the others. Take the clips off because the glue will be dry now. They've done their job. That's the tall one, so that's the one that's going to go in the back. Like that. I like it just sticking up above the pocket, but you know, they're your pockets, do what you wish. This is the little one that goes in the front, and I won't bore you by watching me make the do the ribbons for each of them, and then this one you can place nicely in between like that. So the only thing we need to do is decorate this front bit. Now then, I've been telling you all along to save the strips that you get, these strips, because they can be useful. I mean, look at that one, that's gorgeous, but it's too alike the paper. But this is the same as the backing paper, so that's no good. It's not long enough. So what's this? This is a remnant from something, but it's the same paper, and that will reach. Oh, will it? Oh no, not quite. Bring it down a bit. That's the very most that will reach. Is this the same size? Yes. What's this bit? Oh, that's the same as well. Right, I'm going to have to use this piece then, and just be careful with it. So while I've got it there, let me just take my ruler. You know what I'm like. Measure that, which is, I think it's 7/8 of an inch. Might be an inch. Yeah, I think that's an inch. So I'm just going to I'm following on this top pocket here. Got my ruler on there, all the way down, and I'm just going to draw a line so I know where to stick this, and it'll be straight. I'm going to ink around here. I mean, the pink side's really pretty, but there's not much point sticking it on because it's the same, so we'll stick the contrast, the back part of the paper on. Well, what I'm calling back, not the heavily decorated side. I know we all have ideas of which we like the best, and I'm quite sure some people will like this side better. So we've inked that, so now we just need to glue it, put some glue on it. Ooh, nearly put the glue on the wrong side. And now we know exactly where we're going with this because we've marked it out. So it's going there. Lovely. Just bring it up a little bit and I'll cover that line so you won't see it. Press it down firmly. And now we have it. That's a nice bit of decoration. Trim off the ends. They have got glue on them. And this one up here as well. That's an awkward one to get to. There we are. Get rid of those because I've got glue on. So there we go. We've got this down here. Stay attached, please. Thank you. And the only really other thing that I want to do is add a couple of butterflies to it. These aren't in the kit. they're just butterflies that I had, and I'm thinking I'm just going to add them maybe like that actually. So I'll just put a little bit of glue on them. Oh, I'm going to ink round them first because they're very pale and they've got that white edge of the paper, which I don't like. These are ones I think, oh, I could have found them on Pinterest, or they could be Calico Collage. Lots of kits that you buy have got butterflies in, and I generally copy them and then print them out all different sizes, you know, a whole sheet of them on 2 sheets of them maybe if I really like them, and then you've always got butterflies to hand. And it's handy for me having pink because I do a lot of pink, which is strange because I wouldn't describe myself as a girly girl. Do I like them flying up that way? I think I might. Yeah, I think I might actually, so let's do that. These are different sizes, these butterflies. One's larger than the other one. That's the larger one. Just look at it this way and see where I need that. About there, I would say. So that's those stuck on. You can put a gem in the middle, a pearl, or whatever takes your fancy. And that is pretty much that. Let's have a bit of a tidy up so you can see what I've been doing. Get rid of the clips. So that was the one that I did to show you what I was doing. Excuse me. There, with the corners folded that way. So it's just a little bit different, and it gives you this big piece down here of the corner folded back that you can decorate. And then this was the one that we've just done with the corners folded the other way, so you get a nice clean line. Obviously I haven't put the ribbon in these two, but you get the idea. So, you know, ribbon in those and a little pearl in each of those, and you're away. I think there's just a little bit more inking that needs to be done. Just down there, and I'm not seeing that very clearly, so yeah, I mean the crucial thing I would say is to cut that sliver out once you've scored everything. That's what makes the difference between a successful pocket and not quite so successful. So there we have it. That's our make for today, from a 12 by 12 sheet. So I hope you make it. I hope you enjoy it. There's lots of variations, as I say, for you to try out. And if you do, please post the results on the Facebook group, Miss Paintalot's Junk Journal group. We always like to see what people are up to. It's a lovely, friendly group, and you'd be very welcome there. Thanks very much. Bye.